Your phone is under new rules. If you receive Social Security or Medicare benefits, you are now protected by restrictions that the government is not clearly explaining to you. Scam calls targeting seniors have become so severe that new limits have been placed on who can call you, when they can call you, and what they can say to you. But most seniors do not know these protections exist, and scam artists are taking advantage of that gap right now. They are calling your house, your cell phone, and sometimes your neighbor's phones looking for targets. They have scripts. They have technology. They have teams of people making thousands of calls per day, and they are very good at what they do. I'm going to tell you exactly what these restrictions are, who they protect, how to use them, and what to do if someone violates them. I'm also going to show you the exact tools you can use right now to stop these calls before they ever reach you. This is information that every person on Social Security or Medicare needs to understand. Not next week. Not when you have time. Today. Right now, there are scammers making calls to seniors in your neighborhood. Your neighbor might be getting one of those calls right at this very moment. And if they do not know what I am about to tell you, they might lose money. They might lose their savings. They might lose everything. That is how serious this is. How we got here. The explosion of senior phone scams. To understand why these phone restrictions matter, you need to know just how bad the scam problem has become. The numbers are staggering, and they directly led to the protections that exist today. In recent years, phone scams targeting seniors have become one of the fastest-growing crimes in America. According to data from the Federal Trade Commission, older Americans lose billions of dollars every year to phone scams. Some estimates put the annual total at over $3 billion. That is billion with a B, $3 billion taken from seniors by criminals who call them on the phone. Think about that number for a second. $3 billion. That is enough money to buy thousands of homes, pay for millions of doctor visits, or cover prescription drug costs for millions of seniors for years. And it is all going into the pockets of criminals who do not care who they hurt. The most common scams targeting Social Security and Medicare recipients include callers who pretend to be from the government. They claim there is a problem with your Social Security number. They say your Medicare coverage is being canceled. They demand immediate payment or threaten arrest. They ask for personal information like your Social Security number, bank account, or Medicare number. They have stories that sound real. They use names that sound official. They reference real laws and real consequences, and they are very, very convincing. These calls are not coming from the government. Real government agencies do not call you and demand immediate payment over the phone. They do not threaten arrest. They do not ask for gift cards or wire transfers. But millions of seniors do not know this, and they fall for these scams every single day. They fall for them because the callers are good. They fall for them because the callers are scary. They fall for them because the callers sound exactly like someone from a real government office. But here is the truth. If someone calls you and demands money and threatens you with arrest, they are a criminal, full stop, no exceptions. The financial losses are devastating. Seniors who fall for these scams often lose their entire savings. They lose money they saved for decades. They lose money they needed for medical care, for groceries, for housing. Some seniors have lost over $100,000 in a single scam call. $100,000. That is a lifetime of work. That is money set aside for emergencies, for grandchildren, for a dignified retirement. And it is gone in one phone call that lasted maybe 20 minutes. Beyond the financial losses, the emotional toll is severe. Seniors who have been scammed often feel ashamed, embarrassed, and depressed. They blame themselves. They think they should have known better. They do not tell their families. They suffer in silence while the criminals who victimize them move on to find new victims. Some seniors have taken their own lives after being scammed. The shame and the loss become too much to bear. This is not an abstract problem. This is a human tragedy. This is why the government created new phone restrictions. They were forced to act because the scam problem was getting worse every year and existing protections were not working well enough. The old rules were written in the 1990s for a world where phone scams were not as sophisticated or as common as they are today. The government had to update the rules to deal with modern threats. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act, the founder. Tian of your rights. The primary law that protects you from unwanted phone calls is called the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. This law was passed in 1991, and it has been updated several times since then. It is the foundation of your rights when it comes to phone calls, and you need to understand what it says. Under this law, Telemarketers and automated calling systems are heavily restricted in who they can call and how they can call. The law was written specifically to protect consumers from the flood of unwanted sales calls that was becoming overwhelming in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Back then, people were getting dozens of calls per week from companies trying to sell things. The law was designed to put a stop to that invasion of privacy. One of the most important provisions of this law is the restriction on auto-dialed calls and pre-recorded messages. Companies are not allowed to use automatic dialing systems to call cell phones without getting your explicit permission first. They are not allowed to deliver pre-recorded messages to your cell phone without your consent. If they do these things, they are violating the law. You can sue them, you can report them, and they can be fined. Another important provision is the do not call list requirement. Companies that make telemarketing calls are required to check the National Do Not Call Registry and avoid calling numbers that are registered. They are also required to maintain their own internal do not call lists and honor requests from people who ask not to be called. If you tell a company to stop calling you, they have to stop. If they do not stop, they are breaking the law. The law also restricts the hours when telemarketing calls can be made. Calls are only allowed between 8 in the morning and 9 at night in your local time zone. Any call outside these hours is a violation. If you get a sales call at 10 at night, that is illegal. They are not allowed to call that late. Another provision requires telemarketers to identify themselves clearly at the beginning of the call. They must state their name, the company they are calling from, and the purpose of the call. They must also disclose that the call is for sales purposes. No hiding, no tricks. They have to tell you who they are and why they are calling. These are baseline protections that apply to everyone. But for seniors who receive Social Security or Medicare, there are additional considerations that make these restrictions even more important. Scammers specifically target this group, which means the risk of unwanted and dangerous calls is higher. CTA, if you found this information useful, hit that like button. This helps spread awareness about phone scam protections to more seniors who need to know their rights. You are making a difference by hitting that button. Government impersonation scams, what they are and how they work. One of the biggest threats to Social Security and Medicare recipients is government impersonation scams. These are calls where someone pretends to be from the Social Security Administration, Medicare, the IRS, or another government agency. These scammers are aggressive, convincing, and extremely dangerous. They have spent years perfecting their scripts, and they know exactly what to say to make you panic. Here is how these scams typically work. You receive a call from someone who claims to be from Social Security or Medicare. They have a story designed to scare you. They might say your Social Security number has been suspended due to suspicious activity. They might say your Medicare coverage is being canceled because of fraud. They might say you owe money to the IRS and will be arrested if you do not pay immediately. The story changes, but the goal is always the same. They want you to be so scared that you do exactly what they say without thinking. The payment methods these scammers demand are a major red flag. They often ask for payment in gift cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or cash. No legitimate government agency accepts these forms of payment. The IRS does not demand gift cards. Social Security does not accept wire transfers. Medicare does not ask for cryptocurrency. If someone demanding payment in these forms says they are from the government, they are lying. They are a criminal. And if you pay them, you will never see that money again. Another major red flag is the demand for immediate action. Real government agencies do not call and demand immediate payment. They do not threaten immediate arrest. They do not give you hours or minutes to pay before consequences occur. Real agencies send letters. They give you time to respond. They explain your options. Scammers rush you because they know if they give you time to think, you will realize something is wrong and hang up. They need you to act while you are scared and not thinking clearly. The information scammers ask for is also a red flag. They might ask for your Social Security number, your Medicare number, your bank account information, your credit card number, or other personal information. Real government agencies already have this information and do not need to ask for it over the phone. They also would not call you out of the blue asking for this information. If someone calls you and asks for any of these things, that is a scam. Hang up. Protecting yourself from these scams starts with understanding that they exist and knowing the warning signs. If you receive a call that scares you, do not act on it. Instead, hang up and call the agency directly using a number you look up yourself, not a number the caller gives you. Look up the number on the official website. Look it up in your phone book. Ask a family member to help you look it up. But whatever you do, do not call the number the scammer gave you. Hash the National Do Not Call Registry, your first line of defense. One of the most important tools available to protect yourself from unwanted calls is the National Do Not Call Registry. This is a free service that allows you to register your phone number to reduce the number of telemarketing calls you receive. It is one of the simplest and most effective steps you can take to protect yourself from unwanted calls. The registry is managed by the Federal Trade Commission. To register your number, you simply call a specific phone number or visit a specific website. The process takes only a few minutes. Once your number is registered, telemarketers are required by law to stop calling you. This is not optional for them. They have to comply. Here is how it works. Once you register your number, telemarketers have 31 days to stop calling you. After that 31-day period, any telemarketing call you receive is likely a violation of the law. You can report these violations to the FTC, and the FTC can take action against the companies making the illegal calls. The FTC has fined companies millions of dollars for violating the Do Not Call rules. It is important to understand that the Do Not Call registry does not stop all unwanted calls. It only stops legal telemarketing calls from companies that follow the law. Scam calls, which are already illegal, will not stop just because your number is registered. Scam artists do not follow the law, so they do not follow the registry rules. They will still call you even if you are registered. But the registry does significantly reduce the number of legitimate sales calls you receive, which makes it easier to identify the scam calls when they come through. Additionally, some types of calls are exempt from the registry requirements. Political organizations, charities, and companies with which you have an existing business relationship may still be allowed to call you even if your number is on the registry. But for most commercial telemarketing calls, the registry should stop them. To register your number, you can call the registration line from the phone number you want to register. You will need to confirm you want to register and provide some basic information. The process is simple and free. You can also register online through the FTC website. If you need help with this process, ask a family member or friend. It is worth the effort. Once you are registered, check your phone bill regularly to see if you are receiving fewer calls. Many people find that the registry significantly reduces the number of sales calls they receive within a few months of registering. The difference can be dramatic. Some people go from receiving dozens of unwanted calls per week to receiving almost none. Hash special protections for Medicare and Social Security recipients. While the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the Do Not Call Registry provide general protections for everyone, there are additional considerations for people who receive Medicare or Social Security benefits. Scammers specifically target these populations, which means extra vigilance is required. These scammers know that people on these programs are often home during the day, answer their phones more frequently, and may be more trusting of callers who claim to be from the government. Medicare scammers are extremely common. These are calls where someone pretends to be from Medicare and asks for your personal information or offers fake services. Common Medicare scams include callers who claim you need a new Medicare card, callers who offer free medical equipment in exchange for your Medicare number, and callers who claim to have information about new Medicare benefits that you have to act on immediately. Here is what you need to remember. Medicare will never call you unsolicited to ask for personal information. Medicare does not make random calls to beneficiaries. They do not call out of the blue to offer free things. They do not call to verify your information. If you receive a call claiming to be from Medicare and asking for your Medicare number, your Social Security number, or your bank information, that LL is a scam. Hang up immediately. Do not engage. Do not press any buttons. Just hang up. Social Security scammers are also extremely common. These are calls where someone pretends to be from the Social Security Administration and makes alarming claims about your account. Common Social Security scams include callers who claim your Social Security number has been suspended, callers who say there is a problem with your benefits that requires immediate action, and callers who threaten to cancel your benefits if you do not provide information. Social Security Administration also does not make unsolicited calls asking for personal information. If you owe money to Social Security, they will send you a letter, not call you. If there is a problem with your account, they will send you a letter. If someone calls you claiming to be from Social Security and asking for information or payment, that call is a scam. Hang up and call the official Social Security number yourself to verify whether there is actually a problem. The key to protecting yourself is to remember that these agencies do not call you out of the blue. They do not demand immediate payment. They do not threaten arrest. They do not ask for gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Any call that includes these elements is a scam, no matter what the caller ID says or how professional the caller sounds. Caller ID can be faked. Phone numbers can be spoofed. Do not trust what you see on your phone screen. CTA, have you received a suspicious call claiming to be from Medicare or Social Security? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might help others recognize a scam before they lose money. Do not be embarrassed. Your warning could save someone from a devastating loss. How to report phone scams, the step-by-step process. If you receive a scam call, it is important to report it. Your report can help authorities catch the criminals and prevent them from victimizing others. Too many seniors do not report scam calls because they feel embarrassed or because they do not think it will make a difference. But every report matters. Every single report adds to the picture of what is happening and helps authorities allocate resources to fight these crimes. First, do not engage with the scammer. Do not argue with them, do not try to trick them, and do not provide any information. Simply hang up. Your safety is the priority, and engaging with scammers can sometimes lead to more frequent calls or other problems. Some scammers will call back repeatedly if you engage with them. Second, document the call. Write down the date and time you received the call, the phone number that appeared on your caller ID if you can see it, what the caller said, and what they asked for. This information can be helpful to authorities if you decide to report the call. Even if you do not remember the exact words, write down what you can remember. The details matter. Third, report the call to the FTC. You can do this by visiting the FTC website or calling their phone number. The FTC collects information about scams and uses it to investigate and prosecute scammers. Your report could be part of a larger case that takes down a criminal operation. The FTC has shut down major scam operations based on reports from everyday people. Fourth, report the call to your state attorney general. Many state attorneys general have units dedicated to protecting consumers from scams. They may be able to take action against scammers operating in your state. Your report adds to the evidence they can use to pursue cases. Fifth, if the scam involved someone pretending to be from Medicare, report it to Medicare directly. You can call Medicare's fraud hotline to report Medicare-related scams. Medicare takes fraud very seriously and investigates all reports. They have teams of investigators whose job is to track down and stop Medicare scams. Sixth, if you lost money to a scam, report it to your local police department. While police may not be able to recover your money, your report creates a record that could be helpful in ongoing investigations. It also adds to the overall picture of scam activity in your area and helps law enforcement understand the scope of the problem. Seventh, tell your friends and family about the scam. Scammers often target the same types of people repeatedly. By sharing your experience, you can help others recognize scams before they become victims. This is one of the most powerful things you can do to fight back against scam artists. One conversation with a friend or neighbor could prevent them from losing thousands of dollars. Call blocking technology, tools to stop scams before they reach you. Beyond the legal protections, there are also technological tools you can use to block scam calls before they ever reach you. These tools have become increasingly sophisticated and effective in recent years, and you should be using them. Your phone carrier likely offers some type of call blocking service. These services use databases of known scam numbers to identify and block fraudulent calls before they reach you. Some carriers offer this service for free, while others charge a small monthly fee. Contact your phone carrier to find out what options are available and how to activate them. This is one of the easiest steps you can take. Smartphone apps can also help block scam calls. There are many apps available that can identify and block unwanted calls. Some apps use community-based reporting where users flag numbers that have been reported as scams. Other apps use artificial intelligence to analyze call patterns and identify likely scams. Many of these apps are free or low cost. Ask a family member or a tech-savvy friend to help you find and install one. Built-in phone features can also help. Both Apple and Android phones have features that can identify and block spam calls. On iPhones, you can go to Settings and enable Silence Unknown Callers, which sends calls from unknown numbers directly to voicemail. This means you will not even hear the phone ring if the caller is not in your contacts. On Android phones, similar features are available in the phone settings under call screening or similar options. These features can significantly reduce the number of scam calls you receive. Another option is to use a call blocking device. These are physical devices that you connect to your home phone line that filter calls before they reach your phone. Some devices use blacklists to block known scam numbers, while others use whitelists to only allow calls from numbers you approve. These devices can be purchased online or at electronic stores. They are especially useful for landline phones. Whatever tools you choose to use, remember that no solution is perfect. Some scam calls will still get through. The combination of legal protections, technological tools, and personal vigilance is the best way to protect yourself from phone scams. Do not rely on any single method. Use everything available to you. CTA, if you want to learn more about protecting yourself from scams and financial exploitation, subscribe to this channel. I bring you new information every week that can help keep you and your family safe. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important video. State-by-state differences in phone protection laws. While federal law provides baseline protections for everyone, some states have additional laws that provide even stronger protections for consumers. Understanding your state's laws can help you take advantage of all the protections available to you. Not all states are the same when it comes to phone protection, and some states are much more aggressive in going after scammers than others. Some states have their own do not call lists in addition to the national registry. These state lists might cover additional types of calls or might have different rules about how companies must handle opt-out requests. Check with your state's Consumer Protection Office to find out if your state has a separate do not call list and how to register for it. Some states have stronger restrictions on automated calls and robocalls than federal law provides. These states might require additional consent before certain types of calls can be made, or might prohibit certain types of calls entirely. Knowing your state's rules can help you understand exactly what is and is not allowed in your area. Some states have specific laws targeting government impersonation scams. These laws might make it easier to prosecute scammers who pretend to be from the government, or might provide additional resources for investigating these crimes. Your state attorney general's office can tell you about any specific laws in your state and how they protect you. Some states have programs that allow you to block calls from out-of-state numbers or unknown numbers more easily. These programs might be offered through the state or through local phone companies. Ask your phone carrier about any state-specific programs that might be available in your area. To find out about your state's specific phone protection laws, contact your state's Consumer Protection Office or Attorney General's office. They can provide information about state laws and any additional protections that might be available to you. Most of these offices have websites and phone numbers that you can use to get information. The counterarguments, what critics say and why they are wrong. Before I continue, I need to address what some people say about these phone protections. You might have heard different opinions about whether these restrictions are effective or necessary, and I want to make sure you have the full picture. Critics say the Do Not Call registry does not work because they still receive unwanted calls. This is partially true but misleading. The registry does significantly reduce the number of legal telemarketing calls you receive. You will receive fewer sales calls after registering. But the registry does not stop illegal scam calls, which are the most dangerous. Some people conflate annoying sales calls with dangerous scam calls, but they are very different problems with different solutions. The registry is not designed to stop criminals who ignore the law. It is designed to stop legitimate companies from bothering you. Critics say call blocking technology is too complicated for seniors to use. This is sometimes true, but it is also an excuse to avoid taking action. While some technology can be complicated, the basic features of most phones and apps are designed to be user-friendly. And there are always alternatives. If an app is too complicated, a simple call blocking service from your phone carrier might be easier to set up. If that is too complicated, you can always ask a family member or friend to help. Do not let complexity stop you from protecting yourself. There is always a way. Critics say the government should do more to stop scammers. This is true, but it does not mean individual action is pointless. The government is taking action through the FTC, the FCC, and other agencies. They are fining companies. They are shutting down operations. They are passing new rules. But catching and prosecuting scammers is difficult, especially when they operate from overseas or use technology to hide their identity. The best defense is often personal prevention rather than relying on law enforcement to catch every criminal. Do both. Report scams and protect yourself. Critics also say these restrictions limit legitimate business communications. This is partially true for some provisions, but the restrictions are designed to protect consumers while still allowing legitimate communications. Businesses can still call you if you have an existing relationship with them or if you give them permission. The restrictions target aggressive, unwanted telemarketing and scam calls, not all business phone calls. You are not losing access to legitimate businesses. You are just blocking the criminals. The bottom line is that these protections exist because the problem is real and serious. Phone scams cause billions of dollars in losses and devastating emotional harm to seniors every year. The restrictions and tools available today are not perfect, but they are helpful. Using them is better than ignoring them. Every tool you use is one more barrier between you and the criminals who want your money. What to do if you have already been scammed. If you have already been the victim of a phone scam, do not give up hope. While it may be difficult to recover your money, there are steps you can take that might help. You are not alone, and there are people and resources available to help you through this. First, contact your bank or credit card company immediately if you gave the scammer access to your accounts or made a payment through a bank transfer or credit card. Explain that you were the victim of a scam and ask if there is any way to reverse the transaction. If you paid with a credit card, you might be able to dispute the charge. If you paid with a debit card or wire transfer, the situation is more difficult, but you should still contact your bank to report the fraud. There is a small chance they can help, especially if you act quickly. Second, change any passwords or PINs that you might have shared with the scammer. If you gave out account numbers, social security numbers, or other personal information, take steps to protect those accounts. Consider placing a fraud alert or credit freeze on your credit reports to prevent the scammer from opening new accounts in your name. This is a free service that you can set up by contacting the credit bureaus. Third, report the scam to as many authorities as possible. The more reports that are filed, the better the chances that authorities will be able to identify and prosecute the scammers. File reports with the FTC, your state attorney general, your local police department, and any other relevant agency. Do not assume someone else will report it. Your report could be the one that makes a difference. Fourth, reach out for emotional support. Being the victim of a scam can be extremely traumatic, and you should not have to deal with those feelings alone. Talk to family members, friends, or a counselor about what happened. There are also support groups for scam victims that might be helpful. You did nothing wrong. You were targeted by professionals who make a living out of deceiving people. Fifth, learn from the experience and share what you learned with others. While it is painful to be scammed, you can use your experience to help others avoid the same fate. Tell your story to friends, family, and community groups. Your warning might save someone else from the same experience. Some of the most powerful prevention tools are the stories of real people who have been through what you have been through. CTA, have you ever helped someone avoid a scam by sharing information like this? Tell us about it in the comments. Your story could inspire others to share what they know and help protect their communities. The hidden trigger, when these scams actually strike. Now let me talk about the exact moments when these scams strike, because timing matters a lot when it comes to protecting yourself. Scammers often call during specific times of day when they know seniors are more likely to be home and more likely to answer. They frequently call in the morning between 9 and 11, when many seniors have had their coffee and are settled in for the day. They also often call in the early afternoon, between 1 and 3, when people are doing paperwork or watching television. Scammers also time their calls around certain events. They call more frequently during tax season, when people are thinking about the IRS and are more likely to believe a call about back taxes. They call more frequently during open enrollment periods for Medicare, when people are thinking about their health care coverage. They call more frequently after natural disasters, when people are stressed and more likely to respond to someone offering help. Some scammers call during the week, while others call on weekends. Many scammers operate from overseas, so they can call during what would be normal business hours in the United States by calling in the middle of the night their time. This means you can get scam calls at almost any hour of the day or night. The important thing to understand is that you should be suspicious of any unexpected call at any time of day from anyone claiming to be from a government agency or a company you do business with. The time of day does not make a call legitimate. The day of the week does not make a call legitimate. Only the content of the call and the identity of the caller determine whether it is real. Hash the future outlook, what is coming next. I want to look ahead now because the fight against phone scams is ongoing, and new developments are coming that seniors need to know about. The scammers are not standing still. They are developing new techniques, new technologies, and new scripts. If we want to stay ahead of them, we have to keep learning and keep adapting. The FCC has been implementing new rules designed to reduce the number of robocalls and scam calls. One major development is the implementation of caller ID authentication technology. This technology, called Stir-Shaken, verifies that the caller ID information shown on your phone is accurate. This makes it harder for scammers to spoof phone numbers and trick people into answering calls. When the system is working correctly, you will be able to trust that the number shown on your phone is actually the number that is calling you. This is a major step forward in the fight against spoofing. The FCC has also been taking action against specific companies and practices that enable robocalls. They have fined companies that make illegal calls and have taken enforcement action against carriers that do not do enough to block illegal calls. This pressure is gradually reducing the number of illegal calls being made. Some carriers have been fined hundreds of millions of dollars for facilitating illegal robocalls. Looking ahead to 2027 and beyond, we can expect these trends to continue. Caller ID authentication will become more widespread, making it harder for scammers to hide their identity. Enforcement actions will continue to target illegal calling operations, and new technologies will continue to be developed to help consumers protect themselves. However, scammers will also continue to adapt. As old tricks stop working, they will develop new ones. New technology will create new opportunities for fraud. We are already seeing scammers move to text messages, to email, and to social media platforms as phone calls become harder to use for fraud. The battlefield is changing, and you need to be ready to fight on multiple fronts. The most important thing you can do for the future is to stay connected with sources of information about phone scams and protections. Subscribe to channels like this one that provide ongoing updates about new threats and new defenses. Talk to family members and friends about what you are learning, and never assume that you are immune to scams. Everyone is a potential target, and staying informed is the best protection. Hash common mistakes seniors make with phone scams. Let me tell you about the most common mistakes that seniors make when it comes to phone scams. Avoiding these mistakes is just as important as knowing about the protections. The biggest mistake is trusting caller ID. Many seniors believe that if a call shows a government agency name or a local phone number, it must be legitimate. But caller ID can be faked. Scammers use technology to make it look like they are calling from the Social Security Administration, from Medicare, from the IRS, from your local police department, or from any other number they choose. The number on your screen is not proof of who is calling. It is just a display that can be manipulated. The second biggest mistake is engaging with suspicious callers. Some seniors think they can outsmart a scammer by playing along or by asking questions, but scammers are professionals. They have heard every trick and have responses for everything. The safest thing to do is to hang up immediately when something feels wrong. Do not engage. Do not argue. Just hang up. The third mistake is not verifying anything. If you get a call from someone claiming to be from a government agency, do not take their word for it. Hang up and call the agency directly using a number you look up yourself. Use the official website. Use a phone book. Use the number on one of your official letters. But whatever you do, do not use the number the caller gives you. That is how they trap people. The fourth mistake is not telling anyone about suspicious calls. Many seniors who receive scam calls do not tell their family or friends because they are embarrassed or because they do not think it is important. But sharing this information is one of the most powerful tools we have for stopping these criminals. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. The more people who know about a particular scam, the fewer victims there will be. The fifth mistake is not using the available tools. Many seniors do not register for the Do Not Call registry, do not enable call blocking on their phones, and do not download call blocking apps. They assume these tools will not help or that they are too complicated to use. But these tools are some of the most effective ways to reduce the number of unwanted calls you receive. They are worth the effort it takes to set them up. Simple steps to protect yourself starting today. Let me give you a simple checklist of things you can do today to protect yourself from phone scams. These steps take very little time, but can make a huge difference in your safety and in the safety of your family. First, register your phone number on the National Do Not Call Registry. This takes just a few minutes and can significantly reduce the number of sales calls you receive. Go to the FTC website or call the registration number. Do it today. Second, enable call blocking on your phone. Check your phone's settings and turn on any built-in spam blocking features. Ask your phone carrier about any call blocking services they offer. This is one of the most effective things you can do to stop unwanted calls. Third, download a call blocking app. There are many good options available, many of which are free. Ask a family member or friend to help you find and install one if you are not comfortable doing it yourself. The installation takes just a few minutes and the protection is immediate. Fourth, write down the official phone numbers for the agencies that matter most. Write down the number for Medicare, for Social Security, and for the FTC. Keep this list near your phone so you can reference it if you receive a suspicious call. When a scammer tells you to call a number, you will have the real number right there to use instead. Fifth, share this information with someone you trust. Tell a family member, friend, or neighbor about what you learned. Ask them to share it with others. The more people who know about these scams, the fewer victims there will be. You could be the person who stops someone from losing their life savings. Sixth, if you receive a suspicious call, hang up and call one of the official numbers you wrote down to verify whether the call was legitimate. Do not use any number the caller gives you. Look up the number yourself. Call the real agency. Ask them if there is really a problem. In most cases, there will not be. These steps will not make you completely immune to scams, but they will significantly reduce your risk. Taking action today is better than waiting until something bad happens. Do not put this off. Do it now. The bottom line. Know your rights and use your tools. Here is everything you need to remember from this video, condensed into the essential points that will keep you safe. Phone scams targeting seniors are a massive problem that causes billions of dollars in losses every year. Scammers specifically target people who receive Social Security and Medicare benefits because they know these groups can be vulnerable. They are professional criminals who have spent years perfecting their techniques. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act provides baseline protections against unwanted telemarketing calls. The National Do Not Call Registry allows you to reduce the number of legal sales calls you receive. These tools are free and available to you right now. Government agencies like Medicare and Social Security will never call you unsolicited to ask for personal information or demand immediate payment. Any call that includes these elements is a scam. Hang up. Do not engage. Do not press buttons. Just hang up. You have tools available to block unwanted calls. Use the built-in features on your phone, sign up for services from your phone carrier, and download call blocking apps. Every tool you use is another layer of protection between you and the criminals. If you receive a scam call, report it to the FTC, your state attorney general, and Medicare or Social Security as appropriate. Your report can help authorities catch the criminals and prevent them from victimizing others. Every report matters. If you have been scammed, take immediate action to protect your accounts, report the crime, and seek support. Do not be ashamed. These criminals are professionals who know how to manipulate people. You did nothing wrong except trust the wrong person, and that is not a crime. Stay informed about new developments in phone scam protection. Sign up for updates, talk to family and friends, and never assume you are immune to being targeted. The scammers are counting on you to be overconfident. Do not give them that advantage. Your phone is a tool that should serve you, not a trap that puts you at risk. Take control of your phone calls and protect yourself from scammers who want to steal your money and your peace of mind. You have the power. You have the knowledge. Now use both. Final call to action. If this video helped you understand how to protect yourself from phone scams, please do 3 things for me right now. First, hit the like button. Every like helps this video reach more seniors who need to know about these protections. You might be watching alone, but together we can spread this information to thousands of people who are at risk. One video reaching more people means fewer victims and fewer criminals getting away with theft. Second, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. I will keep bringing you important information about protecting yourself from scams, fraud, and financial exploitation. I cover Medicare changes, Social Security updates, tax breaks for seniors, and much more. Do not miss any future updates. Click subscribe, turn on the bell. It takes 2 seconds and it could change your life. Third, share this video with someone you care about. Send it to a parent, a grandparent, a friend, or a neighbor who receives Social Security or Medicare. They need to know about these protections, and they might not see this information anywhere else. A simple share could be the thing that keeps someone from losing their savings. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and your family. And remember, when it comes to phone calls, you are in control. Do not let scammers take that control away from you. Hang up on them, report them, and tell everyone you know to do the same. Together, we can fight back against these criminals and protect our communities.